I'm struggling, but like, we're talking about female power, so this non-binary power is gonna push through the gender crap. G'day folks, Wren here, and today we are doing the very first installment of my 5 Friday video. So I'm starting a bit of a new series on my channel, which is called 5 Fridays, and that just means on an occasional Friday video you will get a recommendation video from me featuring 5 books of a particular theme that I chose for that day. This might sometimes just be a once a month thing, sometimes it'll be more depending on my filming ideas and how much energy I can put into videos. The theme that I chose for today's 5 Friday is badass females, female power, feminist kick-assery, you know, just the amazingness that is women. I decided to do this video in February because February is actually my mother's birth month. So to celebrate my mum, we're going to talk about some badass females, because what is more badass than a mother? So the first book I'm going to recommend is honestly the epitome of this theme, which is The Wild Ones by Nafisa Azad. I adored this book when I read it. It is phenomenal. I mean, also just the cover. Have you ever seen something more beautiful in your entire life? No, I don't think so. This is pure female power. Females reclaiming their power. It is feminine rage and revenge, but also women caring for each other, the bonds of sisterhood. Just the immense power that women have, whether that be natural or supernatural. This book is about a group of girls. So they call themselves the Wild Ones, and they have a bit of supernatural-esque power, and basically their whole reason for doing this is to save women. So they can kind of teleport, magically move to some other places. They do that across the world, across fantastical realms, to save women. That save women from several different kinds of awful situations that women have to be put through. Some women are saved from awful parents doing all sorts of awful things, from arranged marriages, being sold into slavery, being saved from sexual assaults, everything that women have to go through. The Wild Ones try and help. That alone is beautiful enough, but we have all different types of women, which is beautiful again. They form this really great sisterhood bond. Saving women, it's not about women hating on each other, it is about women supporting each other. And there is this whole fantasy plot in there as well, and there's a boy that comes along and he's kind of some type of power, and then the Wild Ones are trying to protect him because he will help keep their power intact as well. It's a beautiful feminine power that this book exudes, and I really recommend everyone go read it. And I mean, just look at the cover. I want to display this all the time. Okay, next up, for a truly badass female, we have The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas, and the badass female that I'm talking about is Celaena Sardothien. I chose this book in particular within the Throne of Glass series because this is actually my favorite. I adore this book. It's great. It is just a bunch of kind of like short stories just put into one volume, but they are following a bit of a linear path, and it is Celaena's backstory kind of before the first book, and it really details a lot of the struggle that she had to go through in life and how she became this badass assassin that she is now. You know, you talk about a girl that has been put through the ringer. Like, she's not had an easy life at all. But she has sometimes come out on top and sometimes not. She has lost a lot, and she loses more in this book. She's still a powerful woman. She's not just physically powerful, like she can kill anyone that she wants. She has been trained to be an assassin, and she's very, very good at it. But she also has just this inner strength of being able to go on with life after all of the losses that she has had to go through, and that in itself is really powerful. And she's honestly just a queen, and I love her. I mean, she is a queen, but I love her. She's really, really great, and you know, no matter what anyone thinks about Sarah J. Maas, or any of her books, Selena Sardothien is a phenomenal character. Like, no matter what else I think about the series, I'm always going to read the series for Selena. In this, there are several different, almost like trials that she's going through, like several missions that she goes on, different like training areas that she goes to further her own power. And it's really cool just to see all these different parts of the world. We get to see people that she has known for a long time before she became a prisoner. We get to see how she became a prisoner, because in the first book it starts with her being freed from this prison thing, just surviving everything that she has. I highly recommend just giving the Throne of Glass series a try, because I gave it a shot and I love it. So then we're going to go with a book that I am currently reading and I haven't finished it yet, but it had to be on this list. And that is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. I am about 100 pages into this and it's phenomenal. Like, I have so many tabs because, ooh, this is good. So this is very like female power in just the amount of females that are in this. So we have a female author, we have two female main characters. They are both sapphic ladies. They have a relationship with each other, so female power there. I think there's maybe like one male in this story so far. Everyone else has been identified as female. I am just so in love with this book already. If this comes out as being like one of my favorites of the year, I'm not going to be surprised. So we have Delilah and Claire, and it is a stepsister's best friend romance. So Delilah is taking photos of her stepsister's wedding. Claire is one of the bridesmaids or maids of honor, whatever, and it's like a 2-week pre-wedding party thing. I don't know how weddings work. Lots of chances for these two to get along. There's definitely chemistry with these two. But what I also really like about this, apart from just everything, but is that we have two very different women, and they are both very powerful in their own way, but they are also very aware of their vulnerabilities, and it's not a shameful thing. So Delilah has a lot of insecurities that came up from her childhood and that she's never quite been able to let go, which is very fair. Like, childhood sucks, and the opinions of children while you are a child, they stick with you for a really long time, and Delilah is a very clear candidate for that. So that's really, it's hard for her to get over some insecurities that she has around those things, but she is still a really strong woman. Even if like her life is falling apart, she's still, you know, she's an amazing artist and photographer, and she is really good at like knowing herself, which is really important. She's also just like a kind person, even though she tries to be really standoffish. She's a really kind woman. And then we have Claire, who is a very put together person, but a lot of that is, if she's really put together, then her daughter's life might be easier. So she had a daughter when she was quite young. She is a single parent, and you know, raising like a 11 or 12-year-old, that is difficult. That's really hard because there are a lot of emotions going on at that point. She's doing a really good job of that, and she's also like, she also has her own business, and she's a really good friend, and she's trying to just be the best mom, be the best friend, even if some parts of herself and her life are falling by the wayside. So they do really complement each other, and I love that it really goes into the softer side of female power, because they are both incredibly strong women, but you know, it's not because of their physical strength or their inner strength. They just are strong people, but they are also delicate people, and that in itself is a strength. To be able to show your vulnerabilities and your softer side, that takes a huge amount of strength, and these two women do it beautifully, and I'm obsessed with this book anyway. So another queer book that I'm going to talk about is The Henna Wars by Adiba Jaigirdar. I love this book, and I love Adiba Jaigirdar immensely. This is a YA novel, and we have, again, a sapphic romance, but what I really love about this is a lot of the female power is revolving around cultural differences. So we have this school assignment where you have to like run your own business type thing. One of the girls decides she'll run a henna business because that is a part of her culture, and you know, she's good at it. Then another girl is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do henna too, but it's not a part of her culture. And there's this whole thing about cultural appropriation and trying to get people to understand why this is such a big deal for her and why she won't back down. That's brilliant. Like, being a teenager and being able to stand up for yourself and your culture this strongly, that takes immense strength. And she doesn't back down. She's like, no, you are doing the wrong thing, and I hope you see that one day. And like, that's really great that, you know, she's able to do that. And throughout the course of the book, you know, the other girl does realize that what she was doing was cultural appropriation, and she's really apologetic for it. You know, she kind of wasn't seeing it, but she kind of was. And you know, teenage drama thing, but not in a bad way. You know, this is a very good book. It's not stupid teen drama, I promise. It's very, very good. And yes, they are both sapphic ladies that come together and form a cute little relationship. But honestly, what I love the most about this was just this fight for their cultures and embracing your culture and being able to stand up to people about your culture. Like, as an adult, that is hard, but as a teenager, like, hats off to these ladies. This is amazing. And honestly, anything Adiba Jagada does. And then the fifth and final book I'm going to talk about today is Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is the third in the Brown Sisters trilogy, and this is amazing. I could have honestly chosen any of the Brown Sisters books, but I decided to go with Eve in particular because of just Eve herself. So not only is Talia Hibbert an amazing author that is very much the definition of like female power, but she also writes amazing female characters. Eve in particular is kind of flighty, we might say. You know, she doesn't really know what she wants to do with her life, and she kind of struggles to have certain commitments and see things through. She doesn't really know why, but throughout the book she kind of understands it, because this talks a lot about autism. The male love interest, he has autism, but then throughout the book Eve kind of discovers that she also has autism. Just discovering that at such a late stage in life is hard. Like, speaking from personal experience, it is almost like earth-shattering, because you have to go back and question all these things that you thought you knew about yourself and be like, oh, is that actually me, or is it autism? It's a really hard thing to do, and like a big thing with Eve is one of her stims is listening to music, so she always has her earbuds in listening to music, and it's like a thing. People think that she's being rude, but she's not. She's doing this to self-regulate. And you know, she needs this music, otherwise she can't focus, or she can't understand things, or she can't remain calm. Like stims are so important for autistic people. So exploring that in this book was also really powerful, because it shows this side of autism that is so important. You know, I really want to read more books with autism rep, and I think it's done really well in here because Talia Hibbert herself has autism, so it's good representation in my book. Eve is always so positive about the situation. You know, she's really like a gung-ho type of person. She tries to see the good in every situation and in every person, and she tries not to let things affect her too much, because you know, she knows that there are some things outside of her control, and she doesn't let those bother her, and that is a huge strength. Like, wow, there are so many things in my life that I know I can't control, but they affect me, and like, it's being able to just brush that off. That's amazing. Eve is such, like, I think an underrated character, and very underrated by her own sisters, because she does have this strength, and it's a different type of strength. She might come off as kind of ditzy or airhead or whatever type of thing, or you know, not taking things seriously, but her way of moving through the world is very much her own way of doing things, and being yourself in society is really hard to do, but she is very much her own woman. She is walking her own path, and she knows that people might be saying things about her, but she's very much like, I'm gonna keep doing my own thing, and that's beautiful and that's powerful. And I mean, and she's also a plus size woman that is very much loving her curves, which is beautiful, and we definitely need more of that. Oh, she's just sweet and lovable and knows who she is, while also discovering this totally new aspect of herself. What an inspiration. She's great. Okay, so these are my 5 female power recommendations. I hope you read these because these are fantastic books. I gave them all either 5 stars or like a 4.5. They're amazing and I think about these books all the time. They are great. And if you have any other female empowerment books or badass female characters, please let me know down below. I would love to hear them. And thank you so much for watching this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye.